It's well known that divorces can get very expensive, but what if you and your partner have already been separated for 2 years? In this video, we'll explore how much a divorce might cost after a 2-year separation. In 2020, the UK government passed the Divorce Dissolution and Separation Act, which introduces no-fault divorces. This means that if both parties agree to the divorce, then you no longer need to have grounds for divorce, meaning your 2 years of separation is not really a factor. However, if your divorce is contested, that is, if only one spouse agrees to the divorce, then a valid grounds for divorce will be required. One valid reason is proving that you and your partner have been separated for 2 years out of the last 2.5. Contested divorces are generally far more complex than uncontested ones, usually requiring a greater amount of time, a greater degree of legal expertise, and a greater cost to both parties. It's worth quickly covering what counts as being separated from your spouse. Legally, separation occurs when a married couple decides to live apart with the intention of ending their relationship. You can be considered separated even if you live in the same house, as long as you lead separate lives. This means you don't share a bedroom, you don't eat meals together, you don't do chores for each other, and you don't share finances. However, proving this type of separation might be more challenging than if you lived at separate addresses for 2 years. Getting back to the costs of divorce, as mentioned, an uncontested divorce can be quite a bit cheaper than a contested one, particularly if both parties agree on the divorce terms, including asset division, children, and responsibilities. If your divorce is uncontested, your solicitor's fees can be significantly reduced, since legal advice or representation may not even be necessary. Some solicitors even offer fixed fees for uncontested divorces. Court fees are the same whether your divorce is contested or uncontested. However, additional costs like court hearings and lawyers' fees should be a lot lower. You may even be able to complete a DIY divorce with little or no legal assistance. However, you really should do some extensive research before pursuing this option. A contested divorce, on the other hand, can be far more complex, drawn out and expensive. Here are just some of the main costs involved. Hiring a solicitor to handle your divorce. The cost will depend on the complexity of your case and the solicitor's rates. For a straightforward divorce where both parties agree, the cost may range from about £500 to £1,500. However, if your case is complex or if it goes to court, the cost could be much higher, especially if you require legal assistance to uncover hidden assets. There's a court fee of £593 for filing a divorce application. This fee covers the court's processing of your divorce. If you have a low income or receive certain benefits, you may be eligible for help with court fees. If you and your spouse cannot agree on the terms of your divorce, you may require a mediator. The cost of mediation can range from £100 to £200 an hour, depending on your location. If you and your spouse have financial assets to divide, such as property or pensions, a financial settlement may be necessary. This incurs a court fee of £255, and if you use a solicitor, their fees would add to the cost significantly. These are general estimates, and the actual cost of your divorce may be higher or lower depending on your specific situation. Seeking legal advice is always advisable to understand the potential costs involved in your case. So a contested divorce where you state 2 years of separation as grounds can be a very expensive affair. According to Money Helper, the average cost of a divorce is just under £14,500. However, that figure includes various expenses such as lifestyle change expenses. For example, if you need to start renting a new house after your separation, that would be considered a lifestyle change expense. Even with the most amicable of divorces, it can still be worthwhile to consult with a solicitor for expert advice on how to proceed. These days, there are many online solicitors that can work out cheaper and easier than meeting in person. JustAnswer, for example, only costs £5 for a trial, which could be far less than a traditional in-person appointment. One of my colleagues used their service and saved over £270 on an outstanding parking ticket. I've linked that offer in the description. If you use that, you'll also be supporting Money Nerd, so thank you.